if Nico is doing a #1 strike, before I disarm him, I'm striking. That's what I do, okay? But in order to move along and us to learn as many disarms as we can, we're not going to be doing our strikes in the middle of these things. But that was why you learned as many Tabata method strikes as you can. You should be able to start applying these strikes and moving into your disarms. All right? So I don't want to hear at the end of this, well, when he went for a disarm, how come he just didn't punch him in the face? Because that's the first thing I would say. So I'm asking you not to do that, because that would not be what I would be doing. I would be striking, I would be breaking and hitting. Okay? So we get away from that part, please, so that we can move on to the disarms. It's 1-to-1. What we're going to do is we trap underneath our hand, and here, even though this is just a disarm, I want to impact, I'm going to crack his wrist. Okay? Here, I'm cracking his wrist. Now, we're being nice here by doing this with our arms. This would not be what I do. All I would do is torque my body and rip his wrist off. I don't believe in extension. We're going to be doing tight. All right? So our first technique, once again, is impact, trap your stick, torque, turn your waist. First disarm. Let's go. We've made contact. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and grab my stick and grab both. Now I have his wrist and his fingers tucked in. If I want, I take him right on down. We can do all kinds of damage here. You can do the small circle if you want. Okay? We can do all kinds of things to him. All right? So once again, as he comes through, I want to wedge. Wedge. I'm grabbing his stick. I grab my second one. This is all we want. Right now, all I got to do is squeeze, he'll tap. Okay? But if you want to apply your Jiu-Jitsu technique, stand up. All we do is take him over. Okay? Up and at him. Sir. Hey! Turn. Once again, no arm power. I've made my contact. I drop. I want to come inside, and away it goes. Bow. Okay. One last time. Together, everyone. #1, stop. Hand shoots through. Snakes. Underneath, body torques back. There's our stick. Your arm in, once again, big movement causes big problems. Okay? Because I said we'd suspend disbelief, but again, you guys say, what's he going to be doing while I'm doing all of this? Okay? Short movement, bang, he's ready to go. But if I'm in here and I'm wrapping around, why isn't he just breaking my jaw? We got to ask that, because that's real. Let's go. Purpose is to go, why isn't it? We said, let's be real. If I'm making big action, why is he there? That's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do. The minute we've made action, he has to suffer for that. The minute action is made. We don't break contact to start a disarm. We never disengage. We stay engaged. If you don't want, listen, if you don't want to get wet, don't go in the pool. Let's go. Of this stick is where? And swing. This is where you're in trouble. You're most safest, draw, inside. So you all doing this and then trying to recover, that makes about as much sense as starting a race like this. You can't go back to go forward. You're going to be a whole lot safer when he comes moving in. Okay? And you also develop your power. It's very hard for me to disarm out here. Okay? Very hard. Because I can't incorporate my body. And in that case, you know, Daryl and Julius win all the time. Tom wins all the time. These guys that are jacked up, you're not just going to take the stick away from them. But as big as Tom's arms are, I would bet you he doesn't curl more than 70 pounds at a time. So he's going to have major difficulty stopping 210. All right? Getting close. We want to use arm, we want to use body. Okay? Anytime you use arm, you're going to be in trouble with a bigger, stronger opponent. But if I'm using my body, his wrist can't stop 210 pounds. Okay? Together. All right, number 2 strike. Impact. Point drop to wrist. Point drop to wrist. Up. What's happened? Wrist got exposed. Torque. We can go right into our throw if we want. We can take them out here. We can roll forward. Okay? Whatever we want to do, we can do. Okay? When number 1 comes, drop that point right at that wrist. This will create it to lift up. I want to come right inside and lock this up. Pain starts immediately. We want to strike. We can strike with the end of this, or we snap that wrist simply by turning it over. Then you want to lock him out, and we can do all of that. Okay? Let's go. Once we've made our contact and we trap, I want you to come up underneath that elbow to raise it. This point, we're going to shift to lock up, bring that stick around, and now we take him out with our lock and our choke at one time. One more time. Once I made my contact, all I want to do is shoot that right up. We want to hit that funny bone, okay? We don't want to do that to one another, but see how he doesn't like that? That's going to give us our wedge. That locks him in. We bring that over to our stick and then snap. All right? Let's go. This is the way we disarm. Right?
Yes, sir.
Did we explain that in the front?
Sure.
Why?
Because if you're doing one, we're doing
If I'm doing a number 1, he's doing a number 2. What I told all of you is before we disarm, in the interest of time, that we're going to be striking before we go in. We want impact on everything before we go in. Have any of you done it today and you didn't get the stick away because the person was too strong?
Hey? No, sir.
Okay, some have. And that's basically because you tried to pull it away from him. Trust me when I tell you that when I come with my body, at the point of that bone, he's letting go. Trust me when I tell you that when I take the butt end of this and I hit that radial nerve, he's going down. Trust me when I tell you that before my disarm occurs, that hits that carotid artery. When I come to do my disarm, he's going down. I said, I do not believe anyone can just do disarm straight away. I don't believe it. I have to see it. If you've been with any kind of escrimador and that stick starts to moving, you better know what you're doing. You better know what you're doing. That stick is in constant motion. In order for you to get a disarm, when he's moving his stick, whang, okay, now we can do some work. But as long as that stick is in constant motion, you're in trouble. We have to do something to stop the constant action. That's why it's called stop action. As long as he remains in motion, it's going to be very, 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 very difficult for you to get it away. Arms extended. Good idea or bad?
Bad.
Okay, impact. He's going to cut me to shreds. Is this a stick? No. It's a machete. This is only because they didn't want them having the weapon anymore. This was to preserve the art. It since has become a viable art form. But originally, this was a bladed art. So if we're working, you didn't want to be in here to start working with no blade. We'd be out here, he'd make a move, whack, and I'd cut his arm off. All right? So let's understand what that is. The disarms are good because they can be utilized in everything you did. You saw already today, we did Kotegaeshi, stick in our hand. You can apply it to any art. And here again, we have Wing Chun, we have Ju-Jitsu, we have Shotokan Karate, we have Sanlun. We have a number of different arts, and it all was able to be related from one to the other. It isn't about any art being superior. It's about superior people, and they're only that way for a moment in time. Trust that.